So James March wasn't the only one to talk about the power of foolishness. Professor Manfred Ketz de Vries is a well-recognized scholar at INSEAD, the business school in France. And he studies foolishness more from a leadership perspective. He talks about how every leader can benefit from also having kind of like a foolish sidekick. Someone who is willing to talk truth to power with this kind of veneer or with this protection of being a quote unquote fool. If you think back to medieval times, the king had the jester, right? The crazy guy who was always making him laugh. And generally that individual had a big influence on the king. He or she was able to whisper into the king's ear, right? And the king wouldn't take whatever this individual would say too seriously because at the end of the day, he was the quote unquote fool. But it's through that whispering that we're able to maybe broach or cover topics that might be a little too touchy, a little too controversial, right? A little too forward thinking to propose if we didn't have, quote unquote, the role of the fool. And this is what he has to say about this particular dynamic in his article. By creating absurd situations, think about it, Energizers are definitely absurd situations. The fool is verbalizing the fears and anxieties of others. The self-deprecating quality that goes with his transgressions of taboos makes it less threatening and more easily accepted. To hold the fool fully responsible for his actions is difficult to do, as fools seem to have some protective immunity. When something is said in jest, it doesn't carry the same weight as it does in ordinary communication. Consequently, greater risks can be taken. And so again, if we think about innovation as our inclination to taking greater and greater risks, then this facade of foolishness that Energizers bring gives us the ability to explore new ground that we might be a little weary or preoccupied about exploring if we were approaching it from our serious perspective, where everything is life and death, where everything is right and wrong, where everything is black and white, right? And where the risks are tremendous.